Welcome back to Morning Express. We're glad you're watching. I'm Sophia Wanuna. It's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. It's time for your health. And it's 7:11 a.m. and joining me on set is Dr. Sammy Kyalo, who's an OBGYN, obstetrician, gynecologist. Asante sana for being with us today.
Thank you.
And today we're focusing on infertility. And we'll have our phone lines, by the way, open for you. The numbers will be scrolling on your screen. So if you have a question for Daktari, feel free to call in and we'll put it to him. But let's begin at, when we're talking about infertility, Daktari, what are we talking about?
Infertility is one of our main issues,
yes,
especially in our reproductive health, with a lot of consultations seen daily in our clinics. And I think it's a subject which needs more education to the public because of the misnorms.
Yes.
Most of the people consult are the women, and they come and accompany it. And we know that the causes of infertility are equally on both gender, with a third of the people who are unable to conceive, the reason being a male factor for infertility, and still a third being a female factor. So you see the two are equally important when we are managing and treating infertility. So I think it needs a lot of attention in health education, and people to understand.
So infertility in itself is the inability to conceive, you'd say?
Yeah, infertility actually is, we can define it as the inability to conceive in a duration of 1 year with adequate sexual exposure and protected sexual exposure.
Right.
And is that duration which now gives that definition.
All right. So therefore, when people come, those are some of the questions you ask to check if at least there's been that 1 year period. There should be some time given if people are trying to get pregnant to ensure that, yes, there's time and it has not worked, so then there's a problem. So when somebody comes to you then, what is it you take them through after they come to visit you and tell you, Doctor, I've been trying to get pregnant, it's not happening? What kind of advice, how do you take it from there?
Basically, when they come in for consultation for issues of infertility, the first thing is to get a detailed medical history. You want to know how they have been doing.
Yes.
You want to take history on their social behaviors, because we know things like alcohol, smoking, substance abuse may be one of the reasons leading to infertility.
Right.
So a detailed medical examination is the key thing at the beginning.
Okay.
Then after you do that, you have to examine the patients, both the female and male. You do a thorough medical examination, physical examination. Then from there now you can investigate. You can go to investigative tools.
All right. Yeah. And in your experience, what mostly causes this? Let's begin with the women. What mostly causes infertility with the women?
Majority of the causes for infertility in women, we can say, is hormone related, leading to failure of that lady to ovulate. That's one of the reasons. Okay. The other common reason is tubal problem. The tubes may be blocked, and you find even if the eggs are released, there is no contact. They can't move to the tubes through to the uterus, and there is no contact between the ovulated egg and the sperms. Okay. So tubal factor is one of the reasons. The second cause of infertility in ladies may be structural. Things like fibroids can cause obstruction and still hinder the movement of the sperm and the eggs through the tract and implantation. Okay. Yeah.
And so with those, some of those, you've given and highlighted as what may cause infertility. Take us through also how then, as a doctor, you handle them.
Most of the causes of infertility basically can be managed. They can be treated. You find, if once we evaluate and find that a lady is not ovulating and the hormones are the problem, then there are medical treatment for that. Okay. If we find that there is tubal problem, then we can do surgery on the tubes. You can open the tubes and then the lady can conceive. Right. Issues of fibroid can be removed and the woman now can conceive freely. If the tubes are not able to be opened, for ladies who have damaged tubes and beyond repair, they have benefit from assisted reproduction where what we call in vitro fertilization,
yeah,
IVF. And this has helped us a lot to the extent that we have a lot of babies born from IVF.
Okay.
The tubal babies.
The tubal babies, and we'll talk more about IVF because those are some of the modern methods we are seeing being explored by couples to help them, get babies. But let's go to the men and the different situations, scenarios we see play out with them, and also how you treat or manage the same. And maybe begin, Daktari, sorry to cut you short, but maybe begin also by explaining to our viewers, because we've seen, especially in the traditional setting, where every time a couple is struggling to get a baby, the blame always goes on the woman. Men are said to be, okay, everything is fine. This woman, is it a curse, is it whatever? But it happens to men as well, doesn't it?
Yes. Actually, I think if proper studies are done and if men were to avail themselves for examination and investigation,
yes,
we believe male infertility may be higher as a cause of infertility, may be higher than the female causes. And I think it's the norms, the social norms, that the lady is the one who's supposed to carry a baby.
Yeah, so she's the one with a problem.
So she has a problem because she hasn't conceived. But our women can't conceive alone. Exactly. There must be a partner, and that partner needs to understand that he needs to have an input in getting a child. Most of the causes for male infertility are easily managed. Unfortunately, they don't appear for that assistance, but it's easily managed. And even the tests are fewer and they are less invasive, because most of the causes you find are associated with the sperm, either the sperm count being either low, or the quality of the sperm being poor,
right,
or the movement of the sperm through the tract not being able to. And these are things which we can totally manage easily on medication. It's only a few cases where you may find genetically maybe that person can't produce sperms.
Yeah.
Those are a bit more challenging, but majority of the time is the quality of the sperm, the counts, the mobility and all that.
Okay. So for those you've mentioned who cannot produce sperms genetically, what happens? Is it all, they cannot, that it's done for them?
By and large, we can say this is an inborn problem.
Condition, yeah?
Where they don't have the cells which generate the sperms.
Okay.
A man can generate sperms through the reproductive age up to very advanced stages. But there are people who are born without the stem cell for producing sperms. And basically, they may be sexually active, but the semen doesn't have sperms. So in that case is when we can come into issues of sperm donation for that couple.
Okay.
And they can still get assisted and get a baby.
All right. Yeah. Let's talk about IVF and maybe go in depth with that intro, and how it works, in vitro fertilization, how it works, and are we seeing more people embracing this as well, especially in Kenya?
Yeah. Basically, we are getting quite a number of people who are candidate for IVF, and I think majority of the couples who are unable to conceive are taking advantage of the new technology.
Yes.
And basically, in this situation, we harvest the eggs from the woman, fertilize with the partner's sperms outside, and grow an embryo. And then that embryo is returned back to the womb of the woman, and now she can carry the baby with a success rate of about 33%.
Okay.
Yes, so it's working. It's even more better for men who have fewer sperm count.
Right.
And because you may need even one sperm to cause fertility.
Right.
When you are using the IVF, the assisted reproduction.
All right.
So it should be given a chance by majority of the people, and I hope the cost will come down.
Yeah.
The cost may be the entrance.
It is the
not the availability now.
So it's very expensive for that particular procedure.
Basically, for a common man, we can say it may cost between 350 to around 450,000.
Okay.
A cycle.
All right.
Yes.
Take us through for women and a couple who talk about their situation being where they get pregnant, so conception is not the problem, but carrying the baby to term is the problem. So termination happens, maybe at early stage, mid stage, or even some at a later stage. What is the problem there?
You are talking about recurrent losses,
yes,
pregnancy losses.
Right.
This is also quite common, especially between the duration of 0 time to 12 weeks, the first trimester. And basically, majority of the women will lose their babies because of hormonal problems. The hormones of the reproductive system should support that conception to enable the egg to generate to form a baby in the first 3 months. And that's basically one of the commonest. And the other common thing at that age is genetic material. The union between the sperm and the egg, if it's not quality, then it may not generate to a baby.
Right.
And the sac remains there without a baby. That's what we call a missed abortion or brightened ovum.
Okay.
And it's quite common. The problem is because our people start clinic late. So you find even when they get subsequent losses, they still want to come to the clinic after 5 months.
Right.
And that's far beyond when we can assist them
catch it,
at the common time when they can lose these babies.
Right.
So we really think that people should start their clinic early. We always make a joke that clinic should be started before conception.
Yes.
So that if there are losses like that, the gynecologist can plan and support that early pregnancy. And then preempt the losses.
Okay.
And also maybe you can plan. There are other ladies who may lose their pregnancies because of things like cervical incompetence. The cervix can't hold the baby for longer. And we tend to lose them a bit late, maybe by 5 months, 6 months. The baby is there, is growing well, but the womb can't hold the baby to continue growing. So it opens and the mother goes into labor.
Right.
The water breaks, then she goes into labor and loses the pregnancy. Also, this can be assisted early. If we plan, we can put a stitch and hold on the cervix.
Okay. In terms of age and how fertile the men and the women will be, you hear when a woman clocks 30, then you're told start counting. The biological clock is ticking. So in terms of when we're considering to have a baby for the women especially, and also the men, what age and where are they most fertile, if I may put it that way?
Usually we say for women, the suitable age group for fertility is between 22 to 39.
Okay.
And we know that from that 5 years of age, fertility starts declining for a woman.
Right.
And it tends to decline even more faster from 39.
All right.
So we are saying if we want to get quality babies, quality pregnancies should be between 22
and
to 35.
To 35.
And if we extend to 39.
Okay.
After 39, fertility declines very fast because we are saying on average in Kenya, by 45, most women will have entered menopause.
Yes. And the question of freezing eggs, there are those who go into that option because maybe at a particular stage of their life they're not ready. But as you said, those numbers do decrease, the fertility levels, but they probably want to get pregnant at some point. Take us through how that part works, freezing of eggs. And whether even people
with the new technology, life also is changing.
Yes.
And one of the things which is happening is that a woman can preserve quality eggs either when fertilized or when not fertilized. You can preserve them.
Okay.
And then you can get your baby at the time when you want to get the baby. Also, people who are undergoing chemotherapy or cancer therapy can benefit from that situation of harvesting the eggs before she's given chemo or radiotherapy, and you can preserve them and keep them longer.
Okay.
So with the assisted reproduction, that is possible because when now she's ready for fertility, you can get the eggs, you fertilize them, and you take them back.
All right. Finally, Dr. our time is up, but thank you for being with us. For you, as we wind up this conversation, what do you think is the most important take-home for our viewers, both men and women, in as far as this conversation around infertility is concerned?
One, we need to open up from the the social norms.
Yes.
That men should be part of fertility.
Right.
And fertility concerns. And 2, there is help from a medical point of view.
Yes.
That women can be assisted, or couples who are unable to get a baby, there is help. And 2, they need to start care early enough.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Sammy Kyalo, OBGYN, being with us this morning. We appreciate all your insights. Very well said in those different subjects or conversations we've had under infertility. Thank you, and wish you a lovely day.